Hey guys, welcome to another video here on Golden Finds, and today is going to be a day in the life vlog. I have just a few things that I'm working on around my house, and I wanted to go ahead and just pick up the camera and show you guys what I'm doing for this day in the life vlog. I'm also going to be heading over to my parents' house this weekend to go through some things. I'm currently looking for our home movies. You know, when we were growing up, my parents filmed us, and I don't know why, but I'm really intrigued in finding those and making sure that I recover them, because I'm a very nostalgic person and I love looking at all that stuff, you know, photographs, home movies, whatever the case is. I'm a 90s baby, so I'm sure there's a lot of film that my parents have over the years of our lives, of me and my brother, and I just want to be able to I want to conserve that. I don't want it to get lost. I don't want it to get ruined. You know, with VHS tapes, they are vintage, so you want to be very careful with that kind of stuff. So I'm going to be doing that as well for this weekend. So it's just going to be a combination of different things for this day in the life vlog, but I wanted to go ahead and share with you guys what I'm doing here. This is our little laundry area. I call it our little laundry nook because we don't have a laundry room. So we have our washer and dryer in the garage. And you guys have seen this. I decorated this area using some thrift finds. But as you guys can see, it is a complete and utter mess. It is so disorganized with things just scattered all over. So it's going to be a little bit of a motivational video as well to do some tidy up and clean up, which was actually, I was really inspired by my wonderful friends here on YouTube, and that being Mariela Merino and also my beautiful friend Brittany from Tackle It with Britt. They both have YouTube channels. I'll go ahead and link them down in the description box for you guys. Definitely head on over and check them both out. They always motivate me to get cleaning and organizing and to declutter. So that is what I'm going to be doing today in tackling this area right here. So I think I'm going to get rid of some things because I just don't think I need to have all this here. And I'm probably going to start off with those signs first. As you guys know, I had mentioned in previous videos, I was trying to find a thrifted laundry sign. I haven't had any luck, and I really don't feel like going out to buy one just because. I would rather wait until we buy a larger home and we have a dedicated laundry room, because that's something that I personally want us to have in our future home, is a room just dedicated to laundry, so everything can be in that space. So I might just wait. But for now, I am going to get rid of those. I just don't care for them too much anymore. I think these were from the dollar spot section at Target. And then the middle one, I think I either got at Ross or TJ Maxx or Marshalls. I'm not too sure anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and be doing that here, tackling this. And again, I was just really, really inspired by my wonderful friends, Brittany and Mariela, which are amazing. You guys have to go check them out. So let's go ahead and get started. And organizing this space. Again, I have everything and it's such a mess, and it's not the best lighting in here. As I mentioned, it is our garage, so there's nothing really much I can do. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, these are the signs I removed. This one's actually, I'm going to keep this one. This one I found at Target as well, and it's just a bunch of laundry symbols that you should know about. I want to keep this for our future larger laundry room, so I'm going to keep that. But I am also going to be donating these to the thrift store. So I have actually been on a very, very high kick start, you guys, of getting rid of a lot of clutter in my home. A lot of them are things that I thrifted in the past few years, and I just think it was time for them to be let go and be given back to the thrift store, so maybe someone else can treasure them. But I wanted to go ahead and trade these in to Goodwill because I don't want to throw them away. So why am I going to do that? So I'm going to donate these with a bunch of other stuff that I have as well. But I have ultimately been doing that. I've been doing that a lot. I've been kind of decluttering. I'm trying again to be very careful what I bring back home from the thrift store. So that's what these are going to go. Mariela actually has a really great tip for all of you guys. Definitely head on over to check her out, because this tip is always, you can get rid of one item if you bring an item in. So like if I buy something and it's supposed to replace something else, go ahead and get rid of one item so you're not building upon clutter. So that's what I'm going to be doing, since eventually I do plan on buying a laundry sign. then I can get rid of these because I really don't want them. I don't like them anymore for the space, and they aren't going to be good for our new space whenever that happens. So let's go ahead and get these out of the way, and then we'll continue on with the rest of this little cleaning session. These are our washer and dryers. We have front loaders. I actually have a current load of laundry that has dried off since yesterday. I don't know what it is about folding laundry, but it's actually the part that I hate the most. And as you guys know, we want to have our space be organized and clean because it's something that we utilize. You know, we hate doing laundry. I know there's some out there that love doing laundry. I don't mind it too much. I think it's just folding and putting away is the part that I hate the most. You know, of course, the easiest part is just dumping it in and putting your detergent and stuff. But I have let this place become kind of like a catch-all. As you guys can see, there's a bunch of crap here. And then Joe, of course, doesn't do any better because he always dumps stuff in here too. Like, this is actually not even detergent that we use for the actual clothes. It's very dusty, and I need to get this place cleaned and organized. So I know that this isn't usually the content that I share with you guys, you know, but this is just a way to reinforce that sometimes if you let things get out of hand, then they can become a problem. And that's something that I have learned to come to realization with my thrifting, is that sometimes I'm buying too many items of things and they are really starting to invade our space at home. Like, this was thrifted. These two trays that I utilized, I stained them to make them look a little bit nicer. And then these were brand new. These were originally from Walmart. This holds my laundry detergent, not laundry detergent, my dryer sheets. And then the other one is empty, but it was meant to hold like my Tide Pods. But now currently we have the liquid, which we got this from Costco, the Kirkland's fabric conditioner, and then the OxyClean laundry detergent liquid. And then these are also thrift finds. These were Halloween canisters that I removed the sticker here, and they're supposed to house other stuff as well. I usually had scent boosters, but we ran out of those. We don't have any, so I'm just like, I didn't feel like we had to buy any now. So this whole area just got taken over. So again, going back to my thrifting, it's a good lesson where you want to make sure you start only buying things that you know you will utilize. I don't know what to do with these. I really like them, but I don't have the room and I don't have the space, or I mean, that's the same thing, room or space. And I don't really have any use for them, but I don't quite want to get rid of them because they are really cool, unique pieces, and I think I could find some use for them in the future. But again, just be very careful and cautious about what you thrift, because then you're going to bring so much clutter into your home. So I'm going to go ahead and start getting this place tip-top shape so it looks nice and clean. As you guys can see, it is very, very dusty. So it's shame on me for letting all of that go. But you know what? No judgment. Absolutely no judgments, because you know, life goes on. We have so many things to do during our days, so it's okay, you know, as long as we get it done and getting everything back into tip-top shape. Always want to make sure that you give your appliances or any electronics a good wipe down every week or so, because you know, there's a lot of dust in the air, particles, pet hair, whatever the case may be, that can definitely build onto your appliances and your electronics, and you don't want filter ways or airways to get blocked by all that crap. So I definitely needed to do this. It is a much needed cleanup for this, especially because you don't want to have that buildup in your dryer, especially with all the lint, because that can, you know, lead into fires and stuff like that. It can be a hazard. But I'm starting to notice that there's like some scratch marks on our washer, which is very unfortunate. I really love to take care of my things, you know, so we don't have to waste money on repairs or having to buy new appliances or whatnot. So it's just disheartening because it has like a bunch of scratch marks that aren't buffing out. It might just be that it's probably stuff that it needs to get buffed out, but it's probably more cosmetic, of course, than anything. But you know, it's just not a pretty picture to see. So I'm gonna go ahead and put everything back on now that it's nice and clean, and get this area more organized for my needs, because again, you guys just want to make sure that your space is always clean and organized, because it's something that you constantly use, especially the laundry and dryer. You know, we use it either every other day or every week, so it's definitely a space that you need to always have ready to go. So that wraps up, you guys, this cleaning session for my little laundry space area. As you guys can see, I have only displayed a few pieces here. So I keep a basket, so anytime that I empty out the lint trap, I just dump it in there for easy access until it's full, or when it's trash day, then I empty it out. Then I decided to only display one of the glass canisters that is going to be holding the wool dryer balls. So I only use those for anything that has to do with Bella's materials. So her blankets, her bedding, anything like that that I have to wash. I only use these to dry them with, because of course I'm not going to use any of the dryer sheets. You know, these are all natural, so there's no scents or odors or anything that could get mixed in with her items, because of course I don't want her to have any allergic reactions to anything. You know, their pets are not meant to have that stuff. So that holds that stuff. And then same goes for over here. I only have the laundry detergent and the softener. This is just the empty canister, tin canister that I'm gonna hold, container, and I'm just gonna keep it there for now. And then I also have Bella, you know, I use a special detergent as well for her, so she doesn't get all of these, you know, artificial smells and scents or whatever they have in the liquids. So this is how it's looking. It's, you know, just organized, functional, got rid of those signs, and it's just looking definitely a whole lot cleaner. The only last thing I have to do is pop in a washing machine powder that I get from Dollar Tree that gives it a good cleaning inside the machine, and that will be the end of this section. So it's now Saturday and we are at my parents' house. So my parents have a lot of items. My dad is a gardener, and a lot of his customers tend to give him a lot of items for free. They'll gift them to him if they don't longer want them. As you guys can see, this is like a magnetic advent calendar for Christmas. I thought it was really cool. It has all the little pieces, and each day you attach one to the nativity scene. So he definitely inherits a lot of items for free that tend to, you know, build up a lot of bowls bulkiness into our home. And so I'm starting to really go through a lot of our items and see what we can donate. Here is a collection of all the VHS tapes. I even found one from our home movies. This is me, if you guys can believe it. These are some of our home movies. When it was, I think this was actually my 4th birthday party. So I was 4 years old. If you guys can guess which one I'm at, which one is me. I'm closing up on me. That is me, the little kid with the white sweater and a spoon in his hand. This is actually my mom, and she's holding my cousin. That is my cousin that we are always so close together. There's me, little old me. So these are all of my cousins. They came over to celebrate, and just seeing these home movies really brings so much nostalgia. And I can tell you, I was a very bratty kid. Looking back at these videos, I definitely was very bratty. I even was able to see my grandpa, who unfortunately has passed away. I don't have any living grandparents, actually. They have all passed away. And it was just very nostalgic and bittersweet, because there were actually a few other family members that are within these home movies that are no longer with us. Very sadly, they have passed away. Here, everyone was dipping into the cake to, they didn't want to dunk my head or my face into the cake, so they thought this would be a better way of getting my face covered with cake. But look at me. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. But I was very, very bratty. I actually had the nickname of Daniel el Travieso, which is Dennis the Menace. I don't know why. I guess I must have been really bad or just misbehaving. But then I also found this one, which was 1991. So I was actually only 11 months here. And this was Christmas Day. It was 12 midnight. You guys can see this is all of my family, my cousins. There's my dad handing out presents, my mom holding me. That's little old me, 11 months. So unfortunately, there are a few family members here that have passed away. And it's very bittersweet, reliving these moments. Now, of course, I was not old enough to know what was going on or what was happening at this time. But now looking back, I'm able to treasure, these beautiful memories, but it's also very bittersweet. Unfortunately, my cousin, her name was Esmeralda, unfortunately did pass away. There's my uncle, and my aunt passed away as well, who was my dad's sister. So it was a little hard, seeing this and taking all in, of happier moments back then. That's why it's really important that you guys always strive to spend as much time as you can with your family, because you really never know when the time will come that you bid farewell. And it can be very unfortunate if you have things that you haven't said. So I really strongly urge you guys, especially now with my dad's cancer, he has been ongoing treatment and he is fine, but it definitely makes you think about the time that you have, because we're basically all on borrowed time. Going through some more of these VHS tapes, I really don't know what my dad is going to do with all of these, because we have DVDs and they have DVDs, and my dad has a bunch of DVDs. So I told him that he could either donate these to the thrift store, or I just can't bear throwing them in the trash. It's just, I don't know. I just can't. There's so many memories, like this one, the big comfy couch. Do you guys remember this show growing up? This was one of my favorites.
And wonderful. And every clown has to take care of our world. Yes, it's important. We have to stand up and be counted as a friendly of our wonderful, wacky world. Let's keep it shiny and clean. Hey, who made this big mess? Me? Oops, I didn't I? Well, the big comfy couch is part of our wonderful world, so I have to clean it up. It's my mess and it's only fair. So get ready for the 10-second tidy. Ready, set, go!
Make sure you guys comment down below who remembers owning Titanic VHS because it had to be in two separate VHS tapes. The movie was too long, so they split it into two VHS tapes. So that was very nostalgic. Titanic is one of my favorite movies. Here I was going through some of my older backpacks. Again, these are items that I'm no longer utilizing, but they are at my parents' house. So I told my dad, you know what, you could either donate these, maybe possibly throw one of them out, because this Winnie the Pooh one, it had writing of all this, I wrote on it when I was a kid. I don't remember how old I was when I had this backpack, but I do remember these backpacks. But it's just, it's going to be a process. My parents definitely have a lot to go through. Right now, I was going through some of my dad's older clothes, which I was actually very shocked to see that my dad had bought in like designer brands, like this Izod Lacoste brand, because my dad right now could care less about the brand that he wears. So going through and looking at all his prior clothes, from the 80s and 90s was awesome and nostalgic and so much fun. It was literally like being in my own thrift store, but we definitely do have a lot of work, and I know it's going to take a lot of time and patience, because it definitely will take a lot of patience, because my parents are not used to, letting things go or throwing them in the trash. So it's definitely going to be a long process, but definitely will be worth the while seeing all of these cool treasures like this vintage Nike Trinity sweatshirts. Hey guys, so we are back home and back from my parents' little session. It really wasn't a lot of stuff that we tackled. My parents, unfortunately, they have a lot of stuff. I don't know if that's where I get it from or I get my hoarding from, but unfortunately, my parents do have a lot of stuff. So, my parents are getting to that point in their life where it's a very sensitive subject. My parents don't really like to talk about it so much, because it's kind of like we are very, we believe in a lot of like spirituality. Like, we're obviously Catholic, but there's a lot of things in the Mexican culture that, it's just very taboo. Like, if you talk about, death, it's kind of like you're inviting death into your home. So they don't really like talking about that stuff, but of course it is a very important subject that we do eventually have to talk about with our parents or whoever it may be, our loved ones as well, as to like what would their wishes be after they pass on. So my parents have a lot of things, and I've been trying to get my parents to start unloading some of the items, either by selling them or donating them to the thrift store or throwing them out in the trash if there's nothing, if it's not worth keeping, because they do have a lot of stuff. And I know that it's going to fall all on my brother and I to sort through everything and go through everything. And I just kind of want it to be like head on now, where we can tackle some of these items while they're still living, so that way we don't have so much in when that time comes. And I know that may sound insensitive. I know some people may be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you're trying to do that. But it obviously, I've heard so many stories from friends and just overall of how the process can be when you're clearing out, like, for example, your parents' house. And it's a lot of work. It's a lot of headaches. And I personally, if I was a parent, I would want to make that transition be as flawless and seamless as possible, because my children are going to be grieving me, but then you're also now grieving, and then part-time you're trying to get rid of, try to do everything, settle the affairs. If you don't leave things in order, then they have to figure things out, and they're trying to plan the funeral, and there's costs and everything. Like, so why tackle on something like that and leaving them so much more work? So that's something that I've told my parents, I respect whatever decision you guys decide about whether or not you guys want to do this. But I have seen that my dad has started to want to tackle some of the things in the garage, because as you guys saw with just a few little clips, there is a lot of stuff that they have collected for their entire life. So I only brought a few goodies, and I fell in love. So I don't know what it is, and I'm sure you guys can either relate. You guys can let me know in the comments down below if you've also experienced this, but it was such a thrill actually being able to see some of my dad's clothes from when he was young. And I was surprised that they were actually still in good condition. Now, of course, they've been in the garage for years, so they obviously do have that, you know, murky kind of damp smell. So I really have to give these a really, really good cleaning. They might have to be dry cleaned. I'm not too sure yet. These are basically vintage clothes. So like this one that I shared in the video, it is part of Izod, and this is actually part of Izod Lacoste. So there was a time period where Lacoste and Izod were together, and that's why the Lacoste alligator or crocodile, they don't really know which one it's supposed to be, is on this cardigan. It's on this cardigan. So this is from like the 1980s. My dad says that it's roughly around that. As you guys can see, the tag has definitely worn. It's very worn, but it's still in very good shape. I don't necessarily think it might fit me just right. It might be too tight on me. I am on a journey to try and lose weight, but I know I didn't want to give this to the thrift store because I got so sentimental seeing some of my dad's clothing, because I thought, you know what? Like, it's so cool. You get to see what they wore back in their time when they were younger, and it's just you get a sense of knowing more of who they are and the style that they had when they were younger. So I'm pretty sure a lot of people do end up keeping a lot of clothes from their parents. But of course, it's, you know, it might be clothes that you like, that you might wear. Some people might keep them for sentimental reasons and just, you know, they don't want to part with them. I also brought back this Northwest blue jacket. It's a plaid, which I fell in love. Now, this is a tall and it's very, very, very stained. So this one definitely most likely will have to be taken to the dry cleaner because it's just in a rough state. But I figured, look at all this the embroidery inside, the checkered, I forget what this is called. There's something called with this style. I forgot. But I just fell in love with it. I think it's perfect for like winter season. Here in California, it's not super, super cold, but I love that it's actually tall, it's long, so it fits like a really oversized jacket. So I thought that would be really nice. And quilted, it's like a quilted finish. There you go. Oh my god. So I brought that. Then I also brought this one, which is just another sweater that my dad used to wear back in the day, and this is part of the Michael Gerald brand. Here is the tag if anybody knows that brand from that time. My dad is in his mid-70s, so just to give you guys an idea. And this one was fun. I really loved the print on this one. I thought it was cool. But again, yeah, like it was just very nostalgic. It really, I feel like when you do this process, it kind of gets you to be closer with your parents. You get to talk about things, you get to talk about their life, you get to, you know, ask them like, oh, lots of questions, or learn things you just never knew before, and it just makes it so much fun. So I really recommend that you guys take the time. If your parents are still alive, take that time. You know, don't take it for granted. We just never know how life may be, especially with my dad's cancer scare. You know, he's doing well, he's keeping up with his checkups, but you just never know how time will be. And then the last one that I brought back was this one, which I thought this one was really cool. This is a vintage Nike. Look at this. This is a medium, which I know is not going to fit me, but I thought it was too cool. So it's like another little sweater vest, and it's a medium size. Look at that vintage Nike tag. And then here it says Trinity Nike. I love this. This kind of looks like something you would wear like if you were going out to, I don't know, maybe like not golf, but somewhere dressy kind of, I feel. But this could also play very well like if you sported it with some really cool, like nice denim pants, maybe shorts. I don't know. I'm just throwing things out there, you guys. And I thought this was too cool, too you know, donate to the thrift. It's very vintagey, and I just fell in love with it. I know it won't fit me because I am not a size medium. I haven't been a size medium since I was like a teenager. I am not a teenager anymore, so I just wanted to save it. But that concludes the end of today's video, you guys. Thank you so much for coming along with me and experiencing this day in the life video. It was just a very sentimental one. Again, going through all of those items at my parents' house, and there's still a lot to tackle. Again, I'm going to gradually be doing little by little. I don't think I'll be doing a series about this, but who knows? If I find some really cool things, maybe I might pick up the camera and vlog about it. Not too sure as of yet, but it's just something that I wanted to do and get started with my parents. So let me know in the comments down below if you guys have experienced this as well. If you did with your parents. Oh my gosh, why am I stuttering? If you guys experienced this with your parents, if they were, you know, if you had to go through this process with them, are you currently trying to go through this process with them, or have you thought about it? It's just a very, very touchy subject. My parents, you know, my dad seems like he's opening up to more about it. He's just very territorial. I think it just has to come again from that Mexican background that we have in us, you know. And my mom, a little bit more tougher to open up to the idea of starting to get rid of some of the declutter, but I will get through to her. I'm sure I will, and I'm helping them, so that's what I want to do. But let me know if you guys have experienced this. If you guys have any tips, I would love to hear them as well. You guys know that I always appreciate you so much, so I always love when you guys leave a comment down below. So until the next time, you guys, thank you so much for watching, and have a blessed day whenever you guys are watching this. Bye, everyone.